express. Chomp, slide, bonk, time's running fast. In the game of chomp, revealing is the task. 'Cause I'm a monster, monster, monster. Wanna belong and I'll bet again. Monster, monster, monster. Wanna belong and I'll bet again. Chomp, 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 answer and guess. Share what you believe and what others express. Chomp, slide, bonk, time's running fast. In the game of chomp, revealing is the tide. In a land of quizzes, the bonk never stops. With cards in the deck, we reach for the top. Each question's a challenge, what do you believe? Unearthing what others think, can you do the deed? Chomp, 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 answer and guess. Share what you believe and what others express. Chomp, slide, bonk, time's running fast. In the game of chomp, revealing is the task. 'Cause I'm a monster, monster, monster. Wanna belong and I'll bet again. Monster, monster, monster. Wanna belong and I'll bet again. Chomp, 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 answer and guess. Share what you believe and what others express. Chomp, slide, bonk, time's running fast. In the game of chomp, revealing is the tide. In a land of quizzes, the bonk never stops. With cards in the deck, we reach for the top.
Okay, I think we are live. I'm honestly not even sure how it works. This is the stream before the stream for me because we've never run a stream on the Chomp account before. And actually, Tamarcus, you talked to me about doing a stream with us about a week ago, and it just so happened that both of the streams will be on the same day. So you are the first stream ever to go on the Chomp account. Congrats.
What an honor! What an honor! I can see Gambler's Fall Studio is saying no audio, unmute lol. We're having some
Oh.
audio issues.
Can you hear us?
It's not.
Can you hear
It's
us
not a
now?
good start. Let me see. Gambler's Fall Studio is saying. Oh, actually, I was just like checking. I was just trying. It seems like it's okay.
Yeah. Seems to be working.
Turn it back how it was, because it actually was okay. So maybe it was just like something on their end then.
Okay, cool. I am going to share this in my community as well, just so everyone can see it.
Nice to see you guys. Thank you for the comments. Thanks for letting us know at the very start about the audio things, because we would have just been yapping for an hour without you guys hearing anything.
Actually, if we have time, I wanted to see, do you still remember that video that you made about Chomp about like 6 months ago? Or like,
Of course I did. I was having
Yeah.
a great time then.
Yeah, okay. Actually, let me see if we can find it. So then we can actually watch that together as a journey for people to know our history. Hold on, let me find it. How do I find? Do you have it handy?
I can also look, but I do have a lot of videos all around.
You've made a lot of videos. Okay, let me look for it actually.
I guess that's a nice way for it to have.
Yeah.
To wait
So
for people to show up.
how do we know each other? How do we know each other, Tamarcus?
I think we met in Germany in one of those like hackathons, not the hackathons, like the hacker houses or something like that. And I'm pretty sure it was from then. And you were still working in the Orca, was it?
Yeah, I think we met the very first time, like the very first event that I went to in Berlin. I had just moved to Berlin. This was like 2023, and you were talking about this virtual world that you're building, and there's like a couch in the world. Do you remember? You were saying like you can afford your own couch, like your own
Oh, yes.
sofa.
Oh yes, that was one of my lowest points. It's true. So it was a pretty fun time. I barely was able to afford my journey to Germany as it was. I had absolutely no income, no savings, no anything. But I just knew I had to be hanging out with the super team fam, just to get my network up and everything. So and one of the guys there was just he told me, like, you can crash in my place. It's empty. We have just moved, but the house is still, like, the flat is still there. There's just a couple
Yeah,
chairs, so you can just sleep on the chairs.
yeah,
But the thing is that when I came there, like, each day was an upgrade. So another guy told me, hey, you can just we're in the hotel. You can come and take a couch in our hotel. And then the
yeah,
next night, other guys said, "Hey, we have, like, the whole flat, and we have an empty full bed, king size bed. You can sleep there." So I was just kept on upgrading my accommodation. So
yeah.
it turned out to be pretty good.
And then you kept coming back to Berlin, right? And then every time I saw you was at the Super Team Berlin build station. Shout out to Super Team Berlin. That's kind of where I sort of started kind of this new journey, and that's also where me and Tamarcus met. Yeah, so you kept coming back, and then I remember you tried all of these different games that you were building, right? The Rubians has always like stayed consistent, and then at one point we ran like a quiz with you for Big Diggers. Is that still around? Is that still live?
Yes, yes, yes. That's still around, and
Okay.
yeah, maybe I can just you mentioned that Rubians have been staying consistent, right? And the thing is,
Yeah.
this is kind of part of my, I would say, the thought process of
Hmm.
that. Basically, kind of my thinking is that if I just have, like, one thing, right, one kind of brand, then my
Hmm.
project can never fail. I can just kind of keep on making new games, different things, all under the same umbrella, and it just
Hmm.
feels like the next chapter of whatever the brand is. So whenever I
Mm.
participate in some hackathon, whatever I do something, it's always that this is how it this is kind of like another chapter of Rubians, right? And the
Mm.
way it's been going now, after a couple of years, I kind of now have this vision of kind of what the environment looks like, what are the people like, how are the cities looking like, what do they do there in that planet, right? And it all comes down to, like, just kind of me sitting like a month or two on a game, and that kind of feeds into, like, this bigger vision. And I
Mhm.
think, yeah, and the way it goes with Big Digas, it's been encapsulated by Ruby Corporation. So Ruby
Mm.
Corporation. Oh, actually, before we get into Ruby Corporation, I just want to say I found that video.
Okay, okay. Should we play it?
Let me try and play it.
Okay, okay.
I
Let
hope you
me.
guys.
I think I'll move over to this demo. Okay. So everyone, you're not watching a premiere, but you're watching this like OG reflection video that Tamarcus made about Chomp. What is it, like a year ago? How long was it ago? Uh,
It was,
no, it
yeah,
was it was
October
it was
2024.
yeah, like 7 months ago. 7 months ago. Okay, let's watch this.
I hope you guys can hear the audio there.
Yeah. Can't hear the audio.
Wait, did you say you can hear the audio?
No,
Everything's
no
okay?
audio. No audio for me. Can you
Oh
guys hear
shoot!
from the streaming side?
Yes to video, nostalgic. I don't know, no
No
audio.
audio. No audio.
I can try to do one more thing.
Okay.
Let's see if we can hear it this time around. A really fun stream. And
Yeah.
how about now?
Yeah.
No?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good audio?
Good audio. Let's start.
Okay, let's go now. All right, guys, thank you for all of the donations. It's been a really fun stream, and I'll see you tomorrow.
You're still in the same apartment.
Where you think you're going
I'm going home.
without doing the daily chomp.
Come on, Chomp, it's not that serious, bro. I'll do one tomorrow.
Oh, it's not that serious, huh? I'll show him tomorrow. The next day.
All right. New day, it's time to cook.
Brother, please relax. It's not that serious.
So that was you, Chompy.
They will never believe you more.
No, Chompy, why would you do this?
Should have done the daily chomp, motherfucker.
Chompy, no! All right, guys. So here you have it.
Yeah, that was actually one of our like first ever like UGC content. So it was amazing. It was also my first time looking at like your studio, your background. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, but but it seems that I don't know if I'm reading the comments. I don't know if people could hear it. Probably could. So yeah, so let's continue. I'm getting a lot of ha ha ha's and ridiculous. So I think everything went well. So yeah,
Yeah.
please let's continue.
Yeah, so yeah, what have you been building since then? That was October, and then we did, I think around the time when you made that video, it was when Big Digga was out, right? And then you were thinking about sharing Big Diggas to different meme coin communities because I think, I mean, even this is true today as well. A lot of meme coins come and go, and they don't have a lot of utility, so people have trouble like yeah participating and there is no like sustainability to meme coins, so people just like come and go. And you were thinking about working with them, right? What happened there, and then what did you learn from that?
Yeah, so yeah, the whole concept kind of maybe like how I first started with Big Diggers was maybe not necessarily about the lack of utility, but it came from me being in the trenches. Like had this like phase, like maybe it lasted a week, and then I just couldn't handle it anymore.
Mm,
But during that time, I noticed that when people like come out with their token, people are immediately saying like, "Dev, what are you doing? Please don't sleep. Go pump. Go do something." Right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's incredible stress for the dev. And like if the token like has any success, now he needs to like no sleep, be on live on Telegram all the time, needs to make a
yeah,
website,
yeah,
whatever, he needs to do a lot of stuff now. And so I was like, maybe I can like help out the dev, right? Maybe we can have a game where the people would just have something to do for a couple of days, right? The dev could say, hey, just leave me alone for a couple of days. Here is a game. I put in some of the tokens of my own treasuries. Like I'm paying with these tokens to free up some of my time, right?
mhm,
I'm giving some money tokens in the treasury. Leave me alone. You go grind for like 48 hours, earn some
yeah,
more tokens for just
yeah,
being a part of our community, and then I'll be
yeah,
back like give you something. So this is I would say like was the premise of this idea. But then like as we went on, the contract kind of became more complicated and everything. So now we can actually have like a range of different things we can do with just one contract. So now we can do like multiple different options. It's just that we're kind of the way it's kind of happening right now is that we need to kind of, I think, select of which one is like the main one. So after that one hits, we can then kind of introduce the other kind of utilities or like other uses of these games. And
yeah.
so and the way it's been going, it's actually been going, I would say, pretty well. I managed to get like from fees like around 3 Sol or something from like
That's awesome.
from just people playing. So I mean, like just getting some like revenue for people playing my game. So I have people playing, like we have what like a couple thousand unique players
Yeah,
and something. So it seemed like finally some people are playing the game, and I can even make money from it.
yeah,
But I came into a problem of, I would say, maybe it was just kind of lack of motivation, in a way that I just want to make more cool stuff rather than just go on Telegrams and chill and get people to collab with them, right? So
mm.
and I was kind of like this is supposed to be something that some collab manager is doing, or like some community manager, like somebody else. I make the game, right? So can somebody else please push it? So and I would say that like the hardest thing about like getting those collabs was uh, just getting somebody to say, yeah, sure, we can give you like a couple $100 to put of
Mhm.
our token to try this thing, right?
Yeah,
Because there's like a lot of convincing, like what's the benefit for us? Wait, we put $300 in, are we getting out of it, right? I'm saying, yeah, mind share, right? Something cool, something to show that while you're doing whatever you're doing, it's been silent on your end, you can do something, right? So I'm kind of like trying to convince them on like different ends, and it's just a bother, right? It takes a long time. Then we set it up. We don't have a lot of hype, so nothing's coming from us, only like from their community. But the
mhm,
community is also hit or miss, right? Sometimes it works out.
yeah,
People just use up all the money. Sometimes it's not. So and like when you kind of get like the miss after miss, and you kind of lose a bit of motivation. So so the way I decided to do is level it up a bit and turn it from a game to a platform.
mhm,
And to make it a platform, because I also like I also got a bit demotivated about tweeting, because I was like, I don't plan on making any more content on Big Diggers. I don't plan on like making any new
Mm.
levels. I'm kind of done with the game. I'm like, it's fun. I don't need it to be like something like massive multiplayer online digging game, right? It just
Mhm.
serves its purpose as a little game. So right. So why do I like make posts? Why do I tweet about it all the time and make memes? And so I kind of also like lost on that edge. And so when I kind of got this idea of Ruby Corporation, everything started to kind of blend together because it takes 2 games to make a platform. And just around that time, the hackathon came out, right? The breakout hackathon. And I was just like, I'm just gonna make a new game, right? Just like similar to Big Diggers, the same contract, everything's the same, just different gameplay, right?
Was this there was another one called like Save the Devs or something? Something the
Yeah,
devs? Was
Save the
that
Devs. Save the Devs was just it was a bit of an older one.
okay, okay. Never
It
mind. I
was
messed up the timeline. Go on, go on. Sorry,
Yeah,
finish the
so
story.
it was a bit of an older one, and actually, it didn't really mess it up because I'm still kind of looking at a way of like bringing it back because it also would work with our concept of the gigs. The only
Mhm.
problem is that it's kind of like a chunky type of game. Like it takes quite a long time to load up. It's 3D, it's full screen,
Yeah,
not really suited for mobile. So
yeah.
I need something that would just be like on a Seeker, right? On a Seeker, an app, go in and just have a couple of these brain rot experiences. So
Mhm.
yeah, so basically my idea was just like on the breakout, I make a new game and 2 games, I put it on just one flag of Ruby Corporation, and boom, if you have 2 games, then more games, more gigs coming soon, and boom, it's a platform. So Big Diggers is not going anywhere. It just kind of became one of the Ruby Corporation's jobs, right? AI is taking over the jobs, so we're creating new ones. We said, hey, you can now become a miner, you can become a rocket scientist, right? Just kind of build a rocket in the launching soon game, and yeah,
Mhm.
this is kind of how I'm going about it. Rubians are still like not going anywhere. It's a similar situation to like Mad Lads and Backpack. Mad Lads is the community, Backpack being like their platform, their product. So the
Mhm.
same way, like Rubians is like the community behind it, and Ruby Corporation is like our thing that we
Mhm.
kind of provide.
Got it, got it. So like Ruby becomes like an umbrella corp, and then you
Mhm.
launch different titles
Yeah.
underneath.
So Ruby
Yeah,
Corporation fails, right? Like any other thing that I do, Rubians are still there. Rubians are still bullish.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you have built. How long have you been doing this? I mean, when I met you, you had already built quite a few games, right?
I mean, games in general. I mean, I don't know,
I
like
remember you telling me in
well,
Amsterdam you had won this prize to fly across the world to like do game development in Asia, like back in the day.
oh yeah. That was also pretty fun. That was such a
Yeah.
random thing. Yeah. So I mean, it was just like I just found some sort of like an application
Hmm.
where like they said like, hey, we're in one like different development teams are doing crypto projects to come out and like develop something.
Yeah.
Um, and I just applied. I just like didn't think too much about it. I was like, it's somewhere in Thailand. There's no way I'm going to get accepted there. Being in Lithuania, how are they gonna cover my expenses? I have no money to cover it on myself. But I just
Yeah.
applied, and turns out it was like the last day of applications, and there was like very little attention. They didn't do proper marketing or whatever. So I just got in by like default. It seems like maybe it was like 30 applications and 20 got through, something like this. So then they just said, yeah, we're just flying you in. We're doing like we're taking care of you, kind of like that. Yeah, so we just had like a nice little week of fun time in Thailand. Unfortunately, we did have to work a lot. Like I wasn't as confident to just kind of be like, hey, fuck it, I'm in Thailand and let's not build anything, right? So I was just like, really spend most of the time there being like just an office working. But I did like went to like some night markets. We had like some fun time as well. So yeah, so and for the games, I mean, in general, I'm making games for like 8 years or something, and in crypto, I would say like 3 years. I started at first with Ethereum, but Ethereum, I just started looking like what could be fun to do, and everything was like, what the fuck, $30 for a transaction, $15 for a transaction fee, and I just couldn't ever like figure out like what to do that would be just as bullish, so people wouldn't pay as much money. Then I found
Yeah.
Solana, and everything started clicking. So yeah, it was like kind of a couple months on Ethereum, and then it just kind of Solana since then.
Yeah, a lot of people have that story. I think even for people in like Super Team DE, I met Momo and his co-founder from Opinions.fun recently, and they had built something else on like Arbitrum, and there were fewer support, fewer users, more expensive, and they moved over, and they found a lot more interest. So I really relate to kind of your feeling of seeing people play something that you built and like seeing fees being generated and feeling like you hit something. But then I think there's also the harsh reality that there are a lot of people trying to build serious products, but there are also people who are, trying to grift, trying to rug. And somehow we observe people who may not be the most well-intended actually getting paid a lot. And it's kind of like moving us towards this like, I don't know, like I don't know how you're feeling about the general environment of Solana, like after meme coin has brought it like mainstream in the last like year and a half. How have you seen the sentiment shift? How have you seen users kind of perspectives and sentiments shift?
I think actually,
Yeah,
I think the culture was much better in like 23, 24.
yeah,
It was like the age of artists, if you remember. Like there were so many artist projects, right? Like doing like some
yeah,
trading cards or whatever, just like for fun. Art this, collections of like some art. Like it was pretty fun time. Three Land, I remember, was like really bullish at the time, right? It was just kind of
yeah.
it
Bangers,
really was
shout out
kind
to
of.
Bangers. She's still building.
I mean, she's building. She's now kind of doing a bit, I think a bit something else. But I mean, like, I would prefer if she stayed on Treeland because I'm like it's the most bullish project I've seen on Solana like since now. Like
Really?
yeah, for me it's like the most number one. Treeland is the best because I came from when I was younger. I was playing a lot of Habbo Hotel. And
Okay.
talking with the developer of Treeland, he said like he also like was very big on Habbo, and I immediately saw like the references of the Habbo Hotel, the social platform. So it just kind of clicked with me immediately, and I see that the future is going to be virtual, and something like Treeland is going to be our future definitely. So yeah, I think Bangers should stay with Treeland and really push it forward because it has so much potential. So yeah, and now going to right now, I think it just makes sense. It makes sense that everybody just follows the grifters because most of the people here are just for the gains, right?
Yeah.
People just want to see what is the bullish project. Like even me, right? They're just gonna go see like some slop AI project, right? I'm like, oh, this is fucking bullshit, like any other AI project, right? It's never gonna work. But I can see there's a lot of hype, so let me just buy some tokens and sell tomorrow, maybe like for like 2x or something, right? And I follow it. Then I need to now see the posts and everything. I hate seeing those posts, right? So, but I'm looking for my exit, and it seems like there's a lot of people just kind of like that on a daily basis, right? Not just
Yeah.
like just for some research purposes. So, and I think it makes sense. And the only thing we can do is to go into the mix. So this is
Mm.
kind of why we are going ahead and creating our own token.
Yeah, that's what you're here to talk about, right?
I mean, like this is like the whole thing. This came from understanding the markets. It's like I don't. If I just hate the game, right? I'm like, oh, the tokens, it has no utility. It's cringe, right? Why do it and then go to zero, right? Um, but then when I'm talking to like different people, and from what I'm seeing, like I'm seeing different breakout projects, right? The only ones that I'm still seeing that like I have any bullish sentiment are those that either have a token right now or are planning to launch it sometime soon. It seems like there is the only way. If you can have the coolest project ever, but if there's no way for like some Africans to invest $5 for some speculation, it's useless. So I think the only way to go is just to create a token. It doesn't matter if it's going to go to zero. Create a token and try to, within the ranks, try to kind of break through that cultural element.
Do you
When people. Mhm.
Yeah, do you think it doesn't matter if it's going to zero, or do you think people like do care a little bit?
It doesn't
Not at
matter at all.
all?
It doesn't
Okay.
matter at all. I think it's just a natural
What do you
thing.
think, chat? If you have thoughts on this, like, yeah, comment and then we can talk about it.
Yeah, please let me know. Please let us know, chat, if tokens going to zero is normal or is that bearish? Is it bullish or bearish going to zero? Yeah. So, I mean, like I don't want to like. I was advised by both the indie fund and by my team to not share too much about the utilities and what's going to
Okay.
happen with the token because it's all about the speculation. I mean, it's all
Mm,
about. And also like even my Ruby corporation, I was ready with the game. I was starting like to share the latest game and everything, but I was
yeah.
told to just password gated, bro. No access, no nothing. You cannot allow people to go into your platform. No collab, no anything. It can be like we could do like the most coolest collabs through like the game, like to have the tokens moving around and like have bullish sentiment to this. But they said like it's just too risky. Just go with the speculation. If people want to speculate, and if already they see what the project is about, there's no longer speculation value. People can already like decide what is the value of that token or that project, right? They can define what the scale is and everything. And if you just silent about everything,
No, I know. Sorry, I'll let you finish your sentence, and then I have a comment after.
yeah. So just kind of to finish up, all about speculation. Not share anything about a project. Keep it locked as only speculation. And after the token launch, reveal whatever you want to reveal, and then it's up to you if it goes to zero or to the moon.
Yeah, I think that's like super interesting advice because the token, like in that series of advice, like token has become the product, right? You want people to not know anything about the product or the token, and you pretty much are launching a token and then letting the market price the token and therefore the product. But then but then there is a almost like a guaranteed dissonance between expectation and reality.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So basically, the token price, the first speculation value, is the people's guess of what is the value of the project that is being launched. And then when you introduce the project, it's going to be either the same, either less or more. Usually, it's never going to be like the same. It's either going to be bearish, so the project goes to zero, or it's going to be bullish, it's going to go up and then to zero, right? So, so I think this is like basically steps. The first step is like people's predictions, and the next step is what the project is actually about.
Yeah, I think that's pretty interesting because it's also very similar to kind of how we think about things at Chomp, right? Because for every single question, you are sharing like what you think and then what your guess is of what everyone else thinks, which
I
is
really
kind
like
of
that.
like
Really like it.
speculating on like the price. Like you can use that to speculate on price actions. You can use that to speculate on the value of like anything, really, depending on the question. But what Chomp is hopefully going to bring you is like closer to reality. So one of the interesting questions that we had asked is when Hyperliquid was like all the rage, right? We asked, do you use Hyperliquid? And do you think other people are using Hyperliquid? So what we saw is more people think others are using Hyperliquid than they themselves are actually using Hyperliquid. So on aggregate, there's like less people using Hyperliquid than you might think. But then it's hard to tell that from just like looking at Twitter, like looking at like all of the noise out there, because it's like it makes you think that every single person is using Hyperliquid. And then so like it makes you question, is the price real? Is the volume real? Or is that a part of like curating a perception as well?
Yeah, I think
Actually,
it's the coolest. I think it's the coolest feature that you have on Chomp. That like the predictive what others are thinking.
yeah.
That it takes like a simple concept of just like saying A or B, right? But like it flips it around, saying that now
Yeah.
what is the other person gonna think? What is the major gonna think? I really like that concept.
Yeah, so we recently did like a revamp of the answering page, so you can also see like the difference between like what people actually choose and what they expect other people to choose. So then like a lot of people are like they're okay with losing a little bit of the bonk because they get to see how other people chose against them. And that has like brought some value into helping people understand each other and like their society around them as well. So another thing I wanted to ask you about is like you talked about mindshare, right? Kind of like gaming, kind of bringing attention, mindshare. What are your thoughts on some of the things that are like really, really populating our timeline these days, like the Yap and Kaito and Laudio, like all of those things? Do you have any thoughts on that? Have you been following?
I haven't been following at all. I see Kaito, I see Kaito, I see Laudio. For me, it's just like what kind of content. If like some influencer says like, "Oh, Kaito, this Kaito, this," I'm like part of trying to be at the top of the leaderboard. I already know that I am being farmed. Like each time I look at the tweet, I'm just like farming him. So, and I know that
So you don't even
he's
want to look
farming
at
me.
it.
He's farming me, right? And like I know that is what kind of post is he going to make? It's not going to be something that he thinks like, oh, what could be cool? He thinks what could have the most engagement, right? And then of course, what brings the most engagement is just like controversial takes, being kind of negative, calling out somebody, right? Just kind of doing chaos, right?
Yeah,
And I have
yeah,
plenty of chaos just being in Solana space as is. I don't really care about like just looking at some random Kaito people just like saying random takes and lying. Like that's what I really hate the most. Like just played out lying, like saying, "Oh, I cannot believe Solana is now at 300," right? And people are just like, "Ha, I fooled you." Of course, it's not. You have to do your research. It's not lies. It's just engagement farming. You know, I
yeah,
just don't get it. It's just that terrible. So
yeah.
I've been avoiding these platforms.
Yeah, it is creating a lot of noise and it's making like yeah, because like the more you post, the more people like it, the more people like get eyeballs, even if what you're posting is not accurate. Um, is creating attention and giving you like potentially more yaps or more Kaito tokens. Yeah, so it is kind of taking InfoFi this whole narrative towards a direction that we didn't want to see, at least that I didn't want to see. And then in a way, it is making people who wants to like you who wants to be heads down building who wants to build a good product kind of missing out by default, right? Because you're not out there like tweeting about it or like spreading rumors or like spreading lies, that somehow makes you like worse off, which is very unfair and what I don't want to see in the ecosystem. So I'm super glad that you are kind of joining the game and like launching a token, and hopefully people recognize the value of that token because you're building something real. So can you tell me a little bit more about indie.fun? That's where you're launching, right?
Yes. Indie the fun. I'm really
How
bullish
long
on it
has that
actually.
been around? I've actually not really heard of it until recently. I saw them accelerate and then I heard you talk about it. So yeah, tell our audience, we have almost 300 viewers right now. Yeah, tell them about what indie.fun is and yeah, how did you find out? What made you become bullish on them?
So indie fun, it we kind of go a long way with Free Soul Dev. This guy who's I'm actually not even sure if he's now a founder or the advisor. He's just been doing like 10 different jobs. But Free Soul Dev is one of the guys I met in the early days of like a core group of game developers on Solana. We have like our own Twitter group and everything, and he's quite a voice there. And we just kind of we knew each other for quite some time, and he made a lot of money doing like different projects, and he's now like in this vibe coding arc. He just like spends money to vibe code whatever, and he's like, I'm advisor this, I'm doing this and that. And he just said like we just had once kind of a talk about like about how to get some bullishness, how to get some engagement and everything. And he's like, bro, like he's kind of like one of the guys who kind of just inspired me. I'm giving all the arguments why it's bearish to have a token, and he said, bro, just turn off your brain. Jesus Christ, turn off your brain. Just launch on this indie fund platform, and we're just gonna raise some money, and then you can do whatever you want. You can do good things for humanity. You can rug, but just kind of just turn off your brain for just a moment before before the token launch. So basically, like this is kind of how I found about indie fun. I've been seeing it just around for just a little bit here and there, but basically it's just to put it short, just like a Kickstarter platform. Like most, like there's been a lot of the Kickstarter platforms which failed, right? Just get a couple soul in funding and just kind of everything closes down, never works. But somehow they're making it work, and the way they're raising is very simple. Basically, each person who gets whitelist gets some allocation of X amount of soul. So, for example, you get a whitelist, you get 0.4 soul in our project to invest to get some amount of token. You don't know like what's going to be the amount of the token. You just know is 0.4 up to 0.4 soul, right? So everybody with the whitelist, or maybe after whitelist ends, up until the end, people just fund to whatever target that we set, right? A couple hundred soul or something like that. If in some time frame, I'm not sure what the time frame is, maybe a couple days, maybe a week. If it fails, people just get their money back and no harm done. We just failed. If we get to 100%, those people, based on how much they invested in Soul, get that amount in tokens, and the fund begins. Then the trading opens up. People trade, people speculate, and we just then need to like launch all these like partnerships, announcements to keep the vibes going. So, and it's been going. It seems like it's been going pretty well. They already launch padded, if that's a word, like the 10, 15 projects or so. And it's been a huge success on each one of them. So it's starting to become like quite a raging type of launch pad. And what I like about it especially, it's just like it's not just like some random pump fund tokens, right? If you would go to Indie Fund, you look at like the upcoming projects, you see like it's all just games, creative artist projects, like some creative houses, right? Something with the artists. So it's like all about like games and creative culture type of projects. And
Yeah,
somehow I was
that's
I was at
super
first
cool.
pretty bearish. I was like, how are these projects that are like about culture and games? How are they selling out? Like, why are not people just buying some random banana tokens? But I just been following them. I looked at how it's going, and it's just been blowing up. I don't know. People just really seem to like to invest in projects that actually are something. So I decided to give it a shot. They got me on a featured project, so I'm in one of those like featured, not at the very start because we don't yet have a lot of people who are like subscribed to get to the very front of the page. But yeah, they're helping me out. They're helping me out with tokenomics, helping me out with like the templates, giving me the playbook, so like connected me with collab manager, community manager. Like, it really set me up a lot of stuff for me to start, and now I just get to figure stuff out. So I mean, maybe I could theoretically raise like more going on some like bullish platform, like what was it like? I don't even know the name, right? But either Pump Fund or
There's
the
like
one.
GoFundMe. There's so many. There are so many
Yeah.
these days.
So, but I
Yeah.
just decided to go with those that I know that they would help me and like that. So yeah, if you just go through, see like these projects, it's just proper things. I really like things. Things is something to watch, to keep your eye on. And also you can see here is just like a lot of non-feature, just like random projects. And so another thing that Indie Fund does really well, they have like this Modio game engine, like their own game engine, which is I'm not sure
Oh,
in which way it's connected to like how much of it is on chain. But like basically, you can see they have like their own bounty token. So it's like their game engine is powered by bounty, and they have like AI tools and like different things to help developers, like just random people, create games very simply with just like a couple prompts, maybe plays down some things. And if you build a game like that, basically you can just launch your token and say that, hey, you can actually, like, while you wait for the token or when the token comes live, in the same your launchpad website, you can also play that game that like one of the people from the team created on the Modio game engine. So they're kind of like also integrating it with that. So maybe if I launch my Ruby token, I could go to Modio, create like some Ruby game, and that would be live on Modio. People could go play and earn some Ruby tokens as well as a game. So
interesting.
yeah, so it's like pretty cool. Like
So,
those guys are cracked. They like really know how to develop stuff. Everything works pretty well. They have like a lot of like launch tools, with Twitters and stuff. So I can make like some sort of like a raid or some like thing in my settings to say that people need to retweet something, and then in my settings I can see who retweeted. If they made something cool, I can select who gets a whitelist. So like they have like Twitter support as well for engagement. So like it's really cool stuff. It's really cool stuff. This Indie Fund. I'm sure it's gonna become more and more popular as time goes on.
okay, let's go into your page, Ruby Corp. And do you want to give a shout out to the artist that created all the characters?
Yes, of course, it's my girlfriend, Darkness Pixie. Shout out to Darkness Pixie. I love
Hi!
you.
I love you. Mwah. I think we met one time at one of the events. Yeah, I love the art, by the way. Okay, so this is your webpage. This is a screenshot of Big Diggers from back in the day. These are some other images. This is a image from the new game or the old game?
Yes, the new game called Launching
Okay.
Soon. It's called Launching Soon.
Oh, it's literally called launching soon. Okay, okay.
Yes.
Very
Because
fun.
you have to launch the rocket. You have to launch the rocket and it goes to the moon.
Oh, so you're literally like building this rocket to see how
Yeah, yeah,
well
yeah,
it
yeah.
can go into the
You're
moon. Oh,
stacking it
that's
up,
so
and
fun.
if you drop a couple of them wrong, you get fired, and then you only get a little compensation for your hard work.
Okay, and is the token that you're launching attached to just launching soon the game, or like all of Ruby Corp's like different titles?
So of course, to all the Ruby Corp titles, and I think even much more if everything goes according to plan. And so yeah, basically like with the token, when we launch the token, this is like I think the main reason why at the end decided to go with the token, and that is because, as I mentioned before, it's like hard to get people to agree to give me money to run the campaigns, right? So I need to lead
Yeah.
by example. Some percentage of the tokens that we're gonna keep for the launch, right? We're giving out a bunch of tokens. We're going to keep some amount of percentage, and that percentage we're just going to give out to people, to different communities, NFT communities, token communities, buy the games. And with this, we can show without needing to have any extra collaborations. We can say, here, this is how it works. Just go and make some Ruby tokens, right? People will see how it works, and then eventually, hopefully, they'll make it themselves.
Got it. Got it. Okay, so let me read through. The AI revolution is here, and people are losing their jobs and being tossed in the street. That's so sad. Humanity needs to rise up or be enslaved by humanoid robots. Wow.
I mean, this is a problem, right? You need to start with a problem.
I mean, it's a real problem. I mean, AI is helping me, but it's also introducing a lot of problems. I have never like needed AI so much, right? I like don't even Google anymore. I just search on my ChatGPT, but then I actually don't know for sure if what I see on ChatGPT is accurate, to be honest. So it's a little bit weird. Anyways, back to the game. Okay, you are providing these different game platforms, and then the launching soon. The more you get to send off, the more precise you place and more you get to set up. Don't miss anything or your ass will get fired. Okay, so with this game, not only can people get fired in reality, they can also get fired in this game.
Yes, yes. Then they're definitely in the streets after this one.
Okay, and when are you planning to launch, the token that's attached to your games?
I mean, like the launchpad, it's gonna be sometime in the middle of or the end of June. We're just gonna
Okay.
look.
Oh, that's so
Basically, we're gonna
soon.
yes, we're just gonna look at what is the sentiment. Like we're seeing, like our posts are blowing up. The collab manager is doing a great job. We're getting like 1,000 likes on each post. So I think
Awesome.
we may do it sooner than later because it seems like people are kind of fucking with our Ruby Corporation.
Yeah.
So yeah, something like around 15th to like 25th of June. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. So actually, there is something that you are bringing to the Chomp community, and that's why we're here. Oh, what is it? Oh.
Yeah. Listen up, chompers, and listen up, whoever's coming from our Rubians community to listen as well. We
Mhm.
have a chomp special chomp deck that you can play through a link which we are going to send in the Discord, and probably KZ is going to share with the chomp community as well. Maybe you're
Yeah.
going to give a little bit of show a bit of a gameplay. Maybe you can like complete it at your own pace. But basically, it's going to be very simple. You go to that link, and you will need to answer 5 questions, and you need to be truthful about them because it's very serious information that we're collecting. We're
Super
this
serious. We really want to know.
Yes, because depending on your answers, the project is either gonna go to 0 or to the moon. So like, be very serious, and it's gonna be pretty simple. You just go answer a couple of questions. After that, after 48 hours, was it 48 or 72 hours?
72, you said 72.
After 72 hours, we're going to collect all the wallets that have participated in answering these questions, and we're going to raffle and give 5 of you a whitelist to into the Indie Fun token launch thingy.
Okay, only 5?
5, but we'll see. I mean, like, if we see there's like a bunch of players, maybe we're going to increase it because I'm not sure. I mean, like, if it's just like 300 people are gonna participate, 5 may be a little too little. So we're
Yeah.
gonna keep our options open because
Actually,
if there's like 50, I would like to keep it at 5. But if we see that there's a bunch, we may increase it to 10.
okay, let's see. Let's see what happens. I will have you know that 300 is kind of like the lower side of participation on Chomp. Actually, I don't know if I told you, but in March, we had our first 10K MAU month. So we actually had quite a lot of players in March and also in April. But then some of you guys who are new here, you may have seen that for Chomp, we just made an announcement at the end of May about taking a short summer break. We are actually going to take a step back and thinking about how to rebuild the product towards a larger demographic, a larger audience. Actually, like today, my conversation with Tamarcus is giving me a lot of inspiration about how to sustain a project and how to build a thing that everyone can participate in and be a part of. And the fact that we're doing live stream is to build an open. So the questions are live today. So if you go into sorry, I'm just like switching a little bit. So if you go into Chomp today, for those of you who haven't Chomped before, it's app.chomp.games. There is the validate deck, which if you purchase credits, credits are purchasable by soul, and then you earn bonk back. So like the bonk and soul ratio is almost 1-to-1, but for every single question that you play and you pay credits in, you can potentially 2x your return. Half of your return will be in credits back, so you can keep playing, and the other half will be in bonk. And the closer
Imagine
you
if this.
are,
I'm sorry. Imagine if this all was in Chomp token. Ooh, on
oh,
launching on Indie Fun.
imagine.
Ooh.
Still an imagination right now, but never say never. But then for Tamakas, for Ruby Corp, we are putting it up a practice deck so you can try to play Chomp and you don't have to pay anything. So but you can potentially get raffled into getting a whitelist for Ruby's upcoming token launch. Okay, so go into app.chomp.games, go under practice. This deck will be live for 72 hours. It just went live less than an hour ago. And actually, I'm going to answer it and narrate it so you know what you have waiting for you. But I'm the only one that's answering right now, so like, we don't know what the answer is until 3 days later. But okay, I'm going to share my own thoughts about these questions. But Tumakas, let me know if you have a different take on these 5 questions. So,
Okay.
which anime is better, Dragon Ball or Naruto? I can't believe Dragon Ball is still trending because it was like super popular when I was little, and it's still really popular today. Like I can't believe it's lasted for so long. Naruto is a bit of a later title. I think maybe they were like, I want to say they started 10 to 20 years apart almost. But I will have to say Naruto because I remember reading the manga when I was in elementary school, and I loved it. Like whenever new ones will come out from like Jump, I would read it. I've never really watched anime for either of those. I always just read mangas. I'm gonna say Naruto is better, and I would think more people will say Naruto is better, maybe by a little bit, because
Interesting.
yeah, because it's like a, I don't know. For me, I think it has more relatable characters, and there's more characters to relate to. Whether for Dragon Ball, I think it's just Goku, right? Um,
Well, there's a bunch. There's this Piccolo, which is for the black community. I know black
oh,
community
okay.
really love Piccolo because like it's green, but for them it's like the closest thing they have.
Okay, I actually haven't even watched anime. Like I don't even know these characters. Anyways, how many pull-ups can you do? Be honest. I mean, I think most people will just do like less than 3, right? Most people are gonna be able to do less than 3. Um, unless, my community is super jacked and you surprise me. But
That's
now we also
interesting
have we also have
because
your
Web3 is
community.
very hyped on gyms. Everybody's going to the gym in Web3. You have to keep this in mind as well.
Can you do more than 3 pull-ups?
Let let the community decide. I mean,
Okay.
I can make 3, but probably not more.
Okay. Which one is cooler, picking up a sock with your foot or throwing trash into a bin from a distance? Um, I'm going to say picking up a sock with your foot because that's something I can do, and I think I'm pretty cool. But how about you?
I mean, when I was younger, I thought throwing the trash into a bin was the shit. But as you know, as you grow older, you need to start carrying a lot of things around, right? Just kind
Yeah,
of
yeah.
keys here, water canister here around. You're full of stuff, and then like you just now this is the cool stuff. So I think right now I would also select picking up a sock with the foot.
Okay, yeah, it's making your body giving your body more utility, I would say.
Oh yeah. It's
I
like
don't
your
know.
whole the
Yeah,
motions of the whole body rather than just your arms.
yeah, I don't know what others think. I've been okay, I was idle for too long. Okay, what is 2 plus 3 times 3? 3, it's 11. I don't know why anyone would pick 18. Um, maybe they would. I don't know. I'm gonna pick 11, and I think that's probably the majority answer. It's just simple math, right? Why would anyone pick 18?
I don't know.
They
Maybe
could misread the formula, the equation maybe.
maybe who knows?
Okay, are you a virgin? we will know if you lie. By the way, I don't take any credit for designing these questions. This is all Tamarcus. I will have a different set of questions if I release myself. Okay. Are you a virgin? We will know if you lie from your other answers. Um, I am not. And judging by the demographic of our users, oh yeah, this is really hard because they say that DJs have no boyfriend or girlfriends, right? DJs are single. But um I think we have a lot of pretty cool people in the champions community. People have families, have boyfriend, girlfriends, have loved ones. I know many of them onboarded their girlfriends onto Chomp from Web 2. So I'm going to say most people are going to choose no, they're not a virgin. But let's see if on aggregate people are actually virgins.
Yes,
Okay,
and let's see if all the people are going to be truthful as well.
yeah. So I'm going to pop let me think. I'm going to set up a stack for you, Tamakis, so it's easier for people to find your deck later on to see their answers. And then we will reveal who are all the people that participated in the next few days. And then
Oh,
if you're okay, yeah,
this is very cool.
I will share a tweet so people know that you're raffling off whitelists from the people who participate. Okay.
And yes, and also because you mentioned that 300 may be on the low end, I'll update you on the whitelist count because I didn't think you are this hyped. I know.
We'll see, because we did just announce the taking a summer break. But actually, even then, like when we announced the taking summer break, like tweet, people's responses really took me by surprise. Actually, I can read it off for you. Um, I was very touched. Let me show you. So we sent out this video, and we talked about we're going to take a step back and maybe like think about what to build next. We really want to build a native app. We want it to be more interactive, and we want the crypto element to be more hidden, because we want to see like more users that can interact with questions that you've come up with or other people have come up with, and they don't really need to know crypto, right? So we're actually doing for those of you who are on the current live stream, actually in 2 hours we're going to do another live stream with me and my co-founder Isaac, and talk about where we're going from here. And actually, if you look at like all of the responses, people are like, take your time, build the thing that you need. Hello. And then have a good summer. Chomp is one of the best games on Soul right now. Yeah, so I was super, super touched to see all of these people. Well, there's one angry person who said, fuck you. That is to be
I mean,
expected.
of course, of course. It cannot be just all positivity. He's grinding for engagement on Kaito.
Oh, really?
I don't know. That's
Oh,
my
I don't
guess.
know. Well, he's not happy about it, but everyone else is okay with it. But even in the community, I was very touched by the number of
If you
responses.
try to appeal to everyone, you appeal to no one.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. So we are going to share more about our next steps, but even before that, I think people like you, a lot of our friends in the community will probably still tap Chomp to like, as a way to gatekeep their whitelist, as a way to like understand more about the community. That was actually where we found the first set of product market fit. A lot of people reached out to us about like putting up Chomp decks. So I think that will continue to happen anyways. And yeah, really, really excited to see what happens with the token launch. Hopefully, I also get a whitelist. I have just chomped the deck, and yeah, I want to participate in helping you and helping your team build better games, because it's been really, really inspiring to see how many new ideas you have and how fast you go from ideation to execution. I wish I could do that. I'm not a dev, right? But not every dev executes so quickly like you do, and is so committed to your cause either. So, yeah, truly admirable to Marcus, you and your team.
Yeah. I just really don't want to get a job. That's all there is to it. I'm just trying my best.
Well, not everyone who don't want to get a job are doing what you're doing either. So you definitely didn't choose like the easiest way to avoid getting a job. Um,
I guess you're right. Thank you for the kind words.
No, not at all. I mean, I always make sure that we can chat whenever I see you, and that's for a reason. I think all of our times are valuable, and we want to save it for people who are very genuine and driven in this space. Actually, before we hop off, like you wanted to talk about the AI stuff, right? Or like, is there anything else that you want to kind of chat about? Actually,
Just
people in
a
the
little bit.
chat, if you want to ask questions, feel free to pop up.
Just a little bit of alpha. Just a
Okay.
little
Oh, even more. Okay.
1 second of alpha. This is gonna be something that is coming out for. Let me. I think I should probably close the music. But this is something that is coming out. If everything goes well, I'm just kind of finishing this up. Hopefully, we're gonna start this tomorrow,
Okay.
and we have Rubian's model using Darkness Pixie's creations, all the art that she's made over the years. We have compiled into one cool Rubian model, and we can pretty consistently generate Rubians in whichever way, shape, or form, which allows our content to flourish and allows us to quickly make stuff up. And the thing is that we're now trying to do something fun for the Rubians community, and to get you guys creative as well, because I think this is the most interesting way of giving out whitelists, not just through the raffles and chances, but through doing something of value, helping us shape the Rubian world. And with that, I would like to show you something that we're gonna test drive tomorrow if all things go
Okay.
to plan. So I'm sharing you something. I'm not gonna get too much into details. I'm just gonna show you this screen. So basically, in our Rubians app, this is not Ruby Corporation app. This is Rubians app, Rubians.lol. We have Rubian concept generator. So it's all gonna be. You need to log in. Model is currently offline, so this is one thing that we need to do. We're gonna start the model, and you would just basically write whatever, just happy Rubian with green hair, whatever, right? You write a prompt and you create it, and boom, you'll get something similar to these examples if all things go to plan. And the way things are gonna go, I also have like randomized. Like I've made like some a list of something that can get you inspired if you don't want to start with an empty slate. So this is going to be something you will be able to write stuff down, generate, and if you like something that you see, you can upload it to on-chain, and we're going to select the best creations. You can also like share it on Twitter. We'll select the best creations, and if it's something that can fit inside Ruby world, if you're kind of like following the guidelines, if you're kind of like taking everything into consideration and it seems like a good fit, we're going to just give you a whitelist. We're going to celebrate you, and you're going to be doing a great deed for the future of Rubians. So yeah, we're going into the venue of AI. We're not just saying fuck AI, let's create new jobs. It's most of it is of course a joke. The age of AI is upon us, and we need to work with it, or it's gonna eat us up. So we're starting off with this. And if you can also take a reference, you might know what's coming next from these tests that we're doing.
Okay. That is really, really exciting. So hopefully you launch that. I love seeing all the different AI prompts into existing products. I'm definitely using a lot of AI. It's great to see AI being used in a way that is ethical, is fun, is entertaining, and has utility. So love to see it. And for those of you who want to get raffled and receive a potential whitelist, go over to app.chomp.games and then find the deck under practice deck called Chomp Pros Ruby Corp, and you might get a whitelist very, very soon. Okay, thank you so much, Tomatis, for coming, and huge supporter of Ruby. And I am going to turn on the music. For those of you who didn't hear our waiting music, it was, can you guys hear this?
End of quizzes, the bump never stops. With cards in the deck, we reach for the top.
AI generated song for Chomp.
What do you believe? Unearthing what others think. Can you do the deed?
Chomp, chomp, chomp.
Answer and guess. Share what you believe and what others express.
Thank you everybody for coming. It's been a great time, and thank you KZ. This is all really professional. I cannot believe this is the first time you're hosting a stream on this platform. It's looking clean, it's looking nice, and it's been a really fun time for me. And I hope for the
Thank
viewers
you.
as well.
Yeah, thank you all for being here. Can't believe we have like close to 400 people now. Yeah, I love hosting stuff, honestly. I was on the West Coast stage for Accelerate, introducing different people. I think like introducing other people, asking questions is like the best thing. You just can't help but like groove to this music, you know? Hey Tolu, good to see you. Seeing some of our OG champions. Okay, that was the end of the song. I'm not going to play it again. And thank you all for being here. We are going to cut off right at almost the hour mark. All right, I'm gonna see you later. Chomp chomp and go Ruby Corp.